Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, voice girl, and welcome once again to another edition of the Man Space Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, is a man who's never been recalled, not even once, not by anybody. Never happened. Big Les.
What up? Another one bites the dust. Yeah, baby.
What's going on, man?
You got it, dog? You all right?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
What's up? That's what's up.
So you see, McDonald's is being sued now for
Oh,
recalls.
man.
I see that there's more recalls from Costco. Man, it's crazy, dog.
Hey, man, this food game is taking people out.
It is.
They was just talking about this young lady who had to have dialysis. Excuse me, because of the onions.
Yeah, and
Well,
when I found
it was
out
more
about
than the
this,
onions, but yeah.
you know when I found out about all this from McDonald's?
When?
Like an hour after I left McDonald's eating a quarter pounder.
Hey, it was the next day. Remember, I had that chicken's Big Mac.
Yeah,
I
well,
told
see, that
you.
don't have the onions on it though.
Yeah, but the wifey had a quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh man.
And when she saw that, bro, she was like, "Oh Lord, I'm gonna die."
I know.
She done fell out the chair and everything. I had a quarter pounder with cheese. I said, but babe, I put the onions on it. Oh, I said, yeah, we'll never go back to that McDonald's anyway.
Yeah,
because they just jacked my order all up.
Yeah. I'm over it. I'm over it.
So if she get the heebie-jeebies from our onions, I'm gonna get it too, because I had some too.
Yeah, man.
It is what it is.
I had one. I got one in Ohio. So I was like, okay, when they showed the map, I'm like, okay, they haven't had any cases in Ohio. No. And then I see a case pop up in Michigan, and I'm just like, it's working its way down.
Yeah. Oh, we were lucky. We're blessed. Sometimes eating this fast food stuff, we take our own life in our hands.
Bro, I think for us coming out of the military and some of the stuff that we ate while we was in the military, our stomachs are cast iron.
I was just getting ready to say, I don't think nothing can get us sick. Food. Yeah. People say, "Oh, I have food poison." I'm like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Is that chicken a la king that we used to eat when we was in the military? Them ham sandwiches, them ham slices. There was a quarter-inch thick.
God. Yeah.
That's been in storage for 10 years.
Oh my God. Do you remember the omelet?
Oh God, yes.
Oh, that was the worst.
Oh, you about to make me sick now.
And it wasn't even yellow. It had like a greenish tint.
It was green. It was greenish gray. You know what I mean?
Awful.
It's like, are these eggs?
Right.
Well, when they used to fix us lunch in the field with them powdered eggs.
Yeah.
All they did was put water in them.
Add water.
Fluff them right on up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
did you ever do the cracker challenge?
Yes. Yes.
Try to eat two of those hard, get the two bricks without drinking water.
Yes.
Were you successful?
Yes, I was. I pulled it off. I pulled it off. So it's two big saltine crackers. That comes in an MRE package. Yeah. I can't even give you the dimensions of these things, but it's not. They're huge, right? They're for those that are looking at us on the screens, they're huge.
They're about like that.
There's two of them, and they give you 2 minutes or a minute, something like that.
A minute to eat both. And now it's actually 8 saltines. Yeah, it's 8 saltines if you break them. They're serrated, so you break them. Each one is 4. And you get 2 of the patties, and you got to eat all of them within a minute. And when I say will absorb every ounce of fluid that you have in your body,
then you can't drink anything while you're doing it.
Yeah, man, your mouth will be caked up like you done swallowed a gallon of flour. Just breathing.
I made it with 1 second left.
Did you?
Yep.
I got down to one square left, and I shoved it in my mouth. Ours was your mouth had to be clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I couldn't clean that thing out.
Yeah. Mhm.
I couldn't get it out. I
I
couldn't.
think I hid the last of it under my tongue.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had it
But
all up in my gum well.
it's
It
awful.
was
It was
horrible.
awful, but yeah, I pulled it off. I ended up collecting the money on that one.
Bro, I thought I was gonna have to go to the dentist after that.
I know,
You
right?
know? God.
But bro,
Yeah, what's that?
let me ask you, has this ever happened to you?
Uh-oh.
So, you know, I traveled over the weekend, I
Mm-hmm.
got back
Mm-hmm.
home, I
Mm-hmm.
took a day off work so I could have a day to relax.
Yeah.
So, my wife, my wife's a shopper. So a day off for me is not me staying home to relax.
Nope.
That is her day to go do returns.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going out to go do a return, right?
Yeah.
And she got boxes of stuff.
Oh
So
my
I'm
God.
like, I'm not gonna carry all this stuff in my arms. I got it on a cart. I'm wheeling the cart. So we're walking in,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my back because I'm looking at the cart. She's walking ahead of me, so I'm looking at the cart, make sure nothing falls off. Right, it's loaded down. And I hear, oh, I got the door, and then the guy says, oh no, you got it. And so I turn around and look and see young lady has opened the door, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She had, everything served up. Her teacups were nice and served up on a platter, right? Very revealing, right? Very revealing. So wife goes in the door, I go in the door, I don't say nothing, she don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the man who was gonna hold the door says, if you had a daughter, would you let your daughter dress like that? Instantly, without thinking, I say, well, what I should have said was, what? I didn't
What are you
see
talking about?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instantly out of my mouth, like an idiot, I said,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
So now I've acknowledged the fact
You
that
seen
I saw
it.
I'm like, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh God, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm gonna hear about this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And
So
it's not gonna be right away either. But go
we
ahead.
get out the store,
Uh-huh.
we get back in the car, and it's silence. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. It's coming. And before she got ready to open her mouth, I just start talking. I don't think I have talked that much in the history of my life, but I did not give her an opportunity to say anything.
Yeah.
I talked consistently for 15 straight minutes back to the house and got out the car and went straight up to my man cave and shut the door and stayed in there the rest of the day.
Hoping she didn't come upstairs.
She did not come upstairs. I'm so thankful.
But the conversation must have been so overwhelmingly good
that
she completely forgot about everything.
So
kudos to you.
Yeah.
Until she
hears this episode. Yeah.
Exactly. Till she hears this conversation.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen. You got eyes for a reason.
But how would you have handled that?
I always go, huh? Because that gives me a moment to go and think,
Yeah.
Until she said,
if my wife would have asked the question, I would have instantly said, what are you talking about? Or I'd have said like you, huh? But because the guy asked the question, instantly I went right in with him. I was like, oh my
God. Set you up.
Yeah, he did.
Now, whoever that dude is,
failure.
You know you wrong for setting my man up.
I know.
Like that.
Just a straight setup. You see me coming in with the woman. You don't set a man up like that.
Right. But
like,
my wife used to me now, if I go, huh, she said, if you can you can hear.
Right.
And then if I start smiling, you already know I'm guilty. If I start smiling, I'm like, I ain't getting enough time to think of
Ain't
nothing.
get enough time to think. I ain't get enough time to think.
Hey, and I'm good on my feet. Well, all I need is a millisecond. But
That's all it takes sometimes.
But she did figure it out. She did figure out the road. She did figure out the road, boy. She say, if you can hum, you can hear. And I'll be like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Been spending my free time instead of looking online or doing anything. I've been reading a book by a good friend, Win Shorthow. Yes, I have The Art and Science of the Meta War.
Yeah.
How to coexist in an AI-driven reality distortion, disinformation, and addiction in the metaverse. You guys got to remember Win was on a guest of the show. So I've been sitting here reading
awesome guest. Awesome guest too.
Awesome guest.
Yeah.
So I will have a official review up on the page probably by next week or so. But it's a really good read so far.
Good.
And I just got the book from our good friend James Michelle.
Yeah.
I just got his new book as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll be talking about that one pretty soon as well.
Okay.
But one of the things that I love to do on this show is promote people and their success, right?
Yes, right.
And I just kind of feel like there is something about giving a person their platform, and because there's enough when somebody has success or they have some varying degree of it, it's worth giving them their flowers. Don't try to tear somebody down. You promote them and push them up. I did this on stage over the weekend and talked about success, right? And talked about how Merriam-Webster defined success. So success is defined as a degree or a measure of succeeding, a favorable or desired outcome, the attainment of wealth, favor, or eminence. Now, I think that our next guest has had a lot of favor, and he knows how to hustle to where he's going to get success.
Right.
He is the man behind Fire and Desire from the Man Space, our fragrances. That's right. The fragrances that we love so well, and the Man Space Nation has absolutely loved. And he's just continuing to grow his business empire, man. I think from the time I met him, I had an instant connection with this guy, and he's been a guest on the show. I got a chance to interview him a little over a year ago while I was up in Michigan. But I just had an instant connection with him. Just a genuine guy. Really love talking with him. Every time I get around him, we talk for almost an hour. And it just seems like the conversation just goes, and we're all over the place with our conversations. But we're gonna bring him in because this is going to be one of those episodes where we're just gonna have a good old time talking. Let me bring you in with my good friend, Mr. Tula Kabone. Welcome back to the show, sir.
I appreciate it. I feel honored and privileged to be here. And like I always start my radio show, I forgot to tell you that. Always start my radio show. If you hear the sound of my voice, that means God has blessed me to see another day. Prayers go up, blessings come down. So thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's start with your radio show. Let's tell everybody with the Man Space Nation about your radio show and how they can hear it.
So the radio show, I just felt like it wasn't enough positivity being spoken about, particularly Black men. And I got tired of the images of what every area we go to in the United States and we watch the news, it's always the negative image, particularly in Michigan. I'll say it that way. And down south is always a negative image. So I wanted to start a radio show where we could talk about positive Black man, positive culture. What led me to it is that my mom was sexually assaulted in a nursing home. Right.
Wow.
And she's been there for rehab. So we tried to shop our story around to Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 2. Brother Les know what those are about. Nobody would take the show. So I kind of got frustrated with it. So somebody invited me on WHPR, but let's know about the new dance show under
Absolutely.
R.J. Watkins. So I
Yeah.
went on there as a guest. So I was doing so well, I got invited in on another guy's show. Then they said, "Well, hey man, we got a show, we got an opening for R.J. Watkins' son. We got opening for a spot." I'm like, man, I ain't never did radio, but I was so motivated to make room for other people to tell their story on there because I
Mhm.
realized mainstream media didn't care about us,
Right.
meaning poor black people in general. If we
Mhm.
ain't killing each other or we ain't talking about
They
something
news.
extraordinary that's
Yeah.
entertainment, then we kind of left behind the way. So I said, okay, I'll take it. So from there, I created a show called Real Talk with Tula Kabone. And then I wanted to go into a second show
Mhm.
I was doing on 9:10 a.m., which I think brother less familiar with them. That was the
Yes.
largest black
Yep.
radio show, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
They put me on that show. But then Kevin O'Dell, the owner of it, took everybody black off and started making conservative. So it was a brother on
Mm.
there named Justin Barnett. His dad was Marvin Barnett. He was a famous defense attorney in Detroit who happened to be a black Republican, but he was a different black Republican. He was more for the people.
Mm.
So I contacted him. I said, hey, man, we need to start a political show because I realized that the marginalized, the poor and the very poor, black people being marginalized, meaning 2 or 3 checks from poverty, poor,
Mhm.
meaning 1 check from poverty, very poor, meaning you ain't working at all and you trying to figure it out. Hey, man, we don't know nothing about politics. And I
Right.
said,
Right.
we have obligation to teach us. So we started a show called Politics and Politics. You decide, and we're nonpartisan, and we just let you come on and chime in. The show is a success. I've been able to interview local politicians who just been extraordinary. But
Mhm.
so I come on every Monday between 5 and 6, right? And I come on every Thursday between 5 and 6. And to watch the show, you hit www.fm 881whpr.com. And that's www FM 881WHPR.com. You can watch it wherever. But anybody watch my show, you're gonna get fired. Like this week, I've been playing the interviews of slaves, people who's actually enslaved.
Oh,
I
wow.
started the show out listening to them because
Mhm.
what I've said, and I continue to say, sometimes we got a historical amnesia. We fail to
Mhm.
Yeah.
realize where we came from. So when we hear the actual recordings of people who was enslaved, it
Mhm.
kind of gives you a chill in your spine, like, well, what am I really doing? And
Right.
then I
Right.
go into the excerpts of my show and have conversation. And I have callers come in. My callers are very informed.
Mhm.
I'm talking about people that's really about that. As far as politics, history, I discussed Donald Trump.
Mm.
I definitely got a shirt made. Well, he don't want to talk. I forgot. But anyway, I was upset when he said that Detroit, if Kamala Harris
Was
got
a yeah. Yeah.
that
The
bothered me.
country would look like Detroit.
Right.
And what does that look like? You
And a
know what
lot
I
of
mean?
people don't know nothing about Detroit. Detroit is
Exactly.
a grit and grind. You could come to Detroit and become a millionaire. If you play your hand right and you
Mhm.
hustle, you can become rich in Detroit. It's
Yeah.
all type of
Mhm.
things you do up here. Legitimately.
Mhm. Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
Like me, I own vending machines. We'll get to that. But I can't do that nowhere else. But only in
Mhm.
the city of Detroit. So when he said that, that kind of offended me.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was nonpartisan, but you made me partisan. I
Mhm.
can't rock like that. But the
Yeah.
show is very informative. And anybody watching my show, like I did one show, and I just gotta say this. I did a show where a lot of people didn't know that after the Emancipation Proclamation, supposedly slavery was over. But what they did was they had black people go into sharecropping right
Mhm.
down south, and they trapped them in. And what they did was recreate slavery a whole different way.
Exactly.
They trapped them in sharecropping and made them stand on the plantation. So when
Mhm.
their children was born, they never even knew they was out of slavery. And
Mhm.
it happened all the way up to the 1960s. And I
Mhm.
played a video of a sister they called a slave detective, and
Mhm.
she showed what black people actually thought in the 1940s and the 50s they were still enslaved. And one
Yeah.
brother said, I didn't even know I was out of slavery till I heard about the civil rights movement. But this is something we don't
Mm.
talk about. But
Yeah.
when people say that well, Juneteenth was Juneteenth, June 19th, 1865 was the last, that's not true. That so
Right.
I show stuff like that. You know, I show what presidents, the president of the United States, 13 of them, the founding father was a slave on. People don't talk about it, but I
Yeah.
do it in a way to give us the courage and motivation to know that we came from a great place. We
Yeah.
came, we are great people, you know, and there's no reason that if you have a history of African American blood in you, that you should be failing. There's no excuse of failures. So I
Yeah.
encourage all that on my show. But the show is
Awesome.
definitely it's definitely powerful.
Mhm.
And that's 5 to 6 a.m. or p.m.
6 p. Oh, not a.m. Oh Lord, 5 6 p.m.
5 to
5
6 p.m. Okay.
6 p.m. Yeah, and that's
All right.
Eastern time. Eastern time.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because a lot of that doesn't get mentioned. And
No.
just think about, in the 1960s, they had the poor tax
Mhm.
where people had to pay to just vote. They had
To
to pay
vote.
$2.
Before that, Mr. Fred, and a lot of people don't know this, that the 15th Amendment was passed right after Reconstruction. The 15th Amendment was passed to allow black men to vote during the Reconstruction period.
Right.
And that was during the Reconstruction period, more black men was elected in positions in a political position than anybody else. It was only after the destruction of the Reconstruction period that black men began to be terrorized. Then it came up with the literacy tax for black men, or the literacy test for black men to vote. But a lot of us don't know about Reconstruction. We don't know that black men got to vote before white women,
Right.
right?
Right.
We got to vote for anybody. But it was during the Reconstruction period, and unfortunately, after they abolished the Reconstruction, the federal soldiers protecting us in the South, that we began to get what we got. So yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but we still, in some ways, still have that slave mindset, and in a lot of, and even in the youth, unfortunately, it's because it's just it's a continuous thing. It's taught, and it's not even realized that it's being taught. And people, and they always say all this and all that. Well, education is the key to a lot of it.
Absolutely.
Reading books, talking to people. I learn a lot of stuff from YouTube. Not all the right stuff, but I learn things. If I want to find out something, I go look it up. There's many books now. You can go online and you can find anything you want. So there's no excuse to be ignorant and still have that mindset. And we have to change that.
I think we need to put more responsibility on ourselves. I'm not the person that's gonna just blame white supremacy for my failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we got, I mean, racism is there, but what we gonna do about it? And that's a southern thinking for me, because we had to figure out how to survive. And what I tell parents on my show, instead of buying your son that's 6 years old them $200 Nikes, no, buy him $200 worth of books and get him some shoes they need to wear. He don't know anything about a brand till you give it to him. If you teach his child how to fish, he can fish on his own.
Amen.
And I think, and what I said was, if you can't read, then give your child YouTube. YouTube got all types of videos on there where you can read instead of watching Sexy Red and everybody else. No, cut that out and put them on YouTube so we can learn. There's no reason in today's time that we should be illiterate. Just makes no sense to me. Period. So I really harp that on my show, that we need to take more responsibility for self. Stop asking God to do what you can do for yourself. Stop spending your money on them $300 shoes, the first check you got, right? If you poor, don't go buy the Yeezys. You only made $500. So what you gonna spend 300 for those, buy 100 on a pair of jeans, buy some drink, and call me Monday morning. You got to pay for it. You got bus fare. No, I don't have bus fare. No. So I think if we talk in terms straight up with our people in that way, then they will understand the responsibility of what they're supposed to be doing as an individual.
Yeah.
And I'm just straightforward with it.
No, I get it. Financial literacy and ownership is the key of a whole lot of things, that you're not taught, and the things that we're not taught in schools and things in public schools. I'll just say that much, algebra and geometry and all that stuff. If you want to go to space, that's cool. But if you want to count your money and you want to know how to make more money and what things are, you need to know percentages and fractions, right? You need to know the basic math skills, so you can count, and grow your money. Financial literacy, I think, should be taught in school, period.
I think that, for brothers that's poor and they hustling, I said, well, you can weigh dope. You could count money.
Absolutely.
You can learn how to do mathematics. These brothers don't. They know grams and
ounces and grams and
So learn that. They learn how to do it the right way. And when I tell them, man, and I'm really big on saving money. Like I'm big on saving money. I don't believe in going out to eat that much. I don't believe, because what I tell people, you got to save money to have an investment to invest in the business. You can't try to have a business and spend all your money. It just don't work like that. What you can't, I tell them, you can't take a pair of shoes to go get something for a business because you just spent $500 on a pair of Nikes. That's not how it works. So in order for you to be able to have a business, particularly if you come from, like I did, a very poor background, you got to first learn financial literacy, down to the bridge card. Down to the bridge card.
That's
I ain't even spend, man, I will go, how much? I say, I'm straight. But that might sound crazy to some people, but to me, it paid off. It paid off in the long run. And we have to learn that type of stuff and not be embarrassed. Man, we supposed to be the barriers of family. We supposed to take care of our family.
Yeah.
But that's just how I look at it. And I tell people that, how do you get what you're saving money? If I want to go to McDonald's, sometimes I didn't go to McDonald's. I would think about the sandwich I got home, or bring that sandwich with me in the car, and bring me a pump of water, and got out and drink it and keep moving. Because them pennies gonna add up later on to invest in cologne or vending machine. So that's how I did it.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back because I want to talk to you about some of the hustling that you've been doing and saving and businesses as far as the cologne and the vending machine. So right after the break, we're going to be back with more with Tula Kabone. We are back with more of the Man Space podcast and our special guest, Mr. Tula Kabone, joining us from the Detroit.
Appreciate it. Go dig. Man, I love y'all break music, man. I'm just man. Listen, y'all got a cold-blooded advertiser. I love how y'all brothers vibe. Man, I got caught up in that. You came back too quick. I was like, man, I love it. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, and I want people to know, too, our listeners, there's a difference between the big D and the D. The D is the original Detroit. That big D crap is for Dallas over there. We don't deal with that. We are the original Old English, the D. We say, what up, though, where we from?
What up, though? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's embraced. It's embraced.
Exactly. So if I say what up, though, it could mean 50 different things. But if I'm smiling, I'm looking at you. What up, though? That's a friendly. Hey, see, right there. That's how we say hello.
Absolutely.
So don't get it mixed up, ladies and gentlemen. We from the D.
From the D. And we drive.
That's it.
So let's talk about your cologne side. As I mentioned in the open, he's the man behind the colognes that we released, Fire and Desire. He came up with the fragrances for us. And basically, this is how the conversation went, Les. It's like, what's something that you like? Because I saw his business. He had about 7 or 8 different fragrances out there for men. He had a few out there for women. And it's like, I kind of like this one, and I kind of like that one. He says, don't worry, I'll mail you something next week. And he sent me a sample. Love it. It just kind of went like that.
Yeah.
And we've been rocking and rolling ever since, man. So, Success Fragrance Company.
Mhm.
Let's talk about, how did you get into
Yeah.
doing the fragrances? And because that's something, a lot of
That's
times when people get into it, they're really into this for years, and fragrances, it takes a while to develop. But I
mhm.
mean, like, you turning them out quickly. So how did you get into this and really mastering the skill of doing it?
Well, so man, so my mom, after I told y'all what happened to my mom earlier,
Yeah.
I need a way. It happened during the pandemic. I mean, pandemic. She died April 8th, 2020. So I'm like, it was heart wrenching. I couldn't
Mhm.
believe like my mom is dead.
Mhm.
Like when they called me. So in order to deal with my grief, I had to come all the way to commemorate her. My mom used to sell Avon when I was a little boy,
Mhm.
right? And there's five of us all together, including myself. She couldn't afford Avon, but she would get Avon and give it to people. But my mom always liked to smell good. And I
Mhm.
said, I was sitting at home, my girl. I said, hey, you know what? I want to create I said, I want to create a perfume and put the cologne scented candle. So we had a candle, I sprayed in it. She was like, okay, let's figure it out. So I started doing it. I started making perfume and cologne scented candle. I'm like, man, but it was an art to it. I couldn't figure it out. So I went from there. The guy was buying the stuff from to make it. He was charging me too much. So my
Mm.
girl said, go find our own stuff. I said, bet. So I went from there, went to the store, got my stuff, and then I started making fragrances. But I
Mm.
was making fragrances that everybody else liked. So
Mhm.
my son said to me, Dad, why don't you make your own fragrance? I looked at my son. I said, you sound crazy. Ain't nobody gonna buy my stuff.
Mhm.
Doubting myself at the time.
Right.
So then one day I said, you know what, man, I'm gonna step out on a limb. I got the money and I started mixing my own stuff. And it was almost as if I tapped into my African intelligence because
Mm.
I'll just smell something, think about it. This may sound crazy to formula guy. Think about it. And I wake up, I pray about it, wake up next morning and say, okay, let me try this. And I'll get it. And
Mm.
it'll just go. And I learned the fragrances and learned how to do it. But what motivated me to do it was the fact that I wanted something to commemorate my mom. And then I started looking at how much fragrances cost. I
Mhm.
said, this is ridiculous. I said, my mom got five children. And if she went to Macy's, she couldn't buy five children because it's almost
Right.
$150 a bottle. So
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
okay, I'm finna master the art of making a great product for a very reasonable price. And it paid off because I went to something my son was having, and it was a black woman who came up. She had three sons, right?
Mhm.
And she didn't have enough money. She had a little boy, two boys, like they was adolescent teenagers. So when
Mhm.
she came up, she said, I only got $25. She wanted something for herself. So she said, y'all get one bottle and split it. I gave all them a bottle and I gave her a bottle. And I only charged her $25 for all that. And
Mm.
at that point, it solidified to me what my purpose was. I
Right.
said, this is why I make this stuff. And I thought about my mom. I said, okay, she was here. She would be, I'm the new Avon. I'm carrying the legacy on through her.
Right.
But man, and so I really pride myself on making a great product. And if
Mhm.
it's not great, I don't put it out. If somebody
Right.
called me and said, "Hey man, I didn't receive something," I'll give it to you for free. Even if it's not my fault. And what I found was too, this is interesting. Most products that we buy that's name brand don't have a lotion to go with it. I said, okay, you
Mhm.
know what? Now I'm finna learn how to make lotion.
Right.
Yeah.
So I learned the art of literally I mastered. It was a process, but I learned how to make the lotions. And
Mm.
people start loving just the lotion itself. And brother, as
Mhm.
you know, it get cold up here. We get ashy.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
people love the
Yes,
lotion.
sir. I get
So
ashy. I get ashy down here. This is just this carryover from up there. You
I
know.
appreciate it. So I make every fragrance I got, the lotion goes with it.
Oh, man,
It's so we
awesome.
complement each other. And then I came up with a diffuser, but Fred know this. But I can make the oil that I sell you in the fragrance and the lotion. I can make that oil to also go in the diffuser. So your
Mm.
house will smell like it, you can smell like it, and I can make a car spray that smell like it as well.
Yep.
Because I
Yeah.
wanted to make a broad spectrum of the market for nobody else can do it. But I want our people, and I'm saying this specifically, to be able to afford it because we cannot afford, no matter what your economic budget is. But who want to go pay $300 for some Tom Ford? You know,
Right,
when you can
right.
wear Tula Kabone 313 or Detroit Grit, and it's banging. People like,
Mhm.
where you get that from? And you get the lotion for what you would have
Yeah.
paid for Tom Ford. You know, and I
Mhm.
like I said, I'm very reasonable. My lotion is only $10, and I only charge 25 for my fragrance.
Mm.
You know, and I find that to be my fragrances is very reasonable. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, so yeah, that's what got me started. You know, and I think about it sometimes. You know, I got a picture of my mom, me and my mom sitting on my thing in my living room, and I look at her picture sometimes, and I said, "Well, Mom, I just hope you're proud of me." It's painful to know how she died, what she went through, and just the fact that I created this business in commemoration of her means a lot to me. And I think I serve my part when I give to people. Like a homeless guy walk up to me one time. I was setting up. He asked, "Hey man, can I have some clothes?" I gave it to him. You can't do that at Macy's.
Right,
You
right,
can't do that. So when I
Right.
find people that's in desperation, I get them the stuff.
right.
More thing, and what's also different about me, I can make your signature perfume if you want it.
Mm,
Whatever you like, and if I can find it, I can make that as well for a reasonable price. Way
mm.
cheaper than what you pay for in the store. But I just wanted to put that out there as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. He mentioned the Detroit Grit less. I just got a
yeah,
bottle of
yeah,
that. Yeah, bro.
yeah. I got
It's
you.
funny.
You might as well go ahead and send that to me.
I got you. Just send me that. And, that's, and you know what? And I want to say this, man, about good brother Fred. Man,
Yeah.
I got so much love for you, and your son is just absolutely amazing. He reminds me so much of you. That brother took a chance on me, man, brother Fred.
Hmm.
And it just, you know, he was like, okay, Tula, we're gonna rock it out. I said, I'm gonna rock it out with you, man. I'm gonna make sure you get it. The brother sent me the money. It was just a sense of trust there. And what happened, and I gotta bring this up because I became so frustrated to mail. I mailed it, but unless you know about this, certain packages in certain place in the city, yeah, it might take you a little longer. And so I did it to where I didn't have. So brother Fred and his wife went on a vacation. I made her bread, and I'm like, brother, I sent it. And when they got it, man, the package was tore up, and
So
I,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
upset. So I
Mhm.
turned around and sent him another package for free. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But
yeah,
but the fact is, I love this brother. He is correct. He do believe in giving us a chance
yeah.
because he gave me
Absolutely.
the opportunity. And from there, you know, everything blossomed. But I really push what he do. The brother's an extraordinary person. I feel so welcome. You know, like okay, this brother's gonna give me a chance, and he'll tell you I was on top of it.
Yeah,
Hey, you say tool I need. I say, okay, I got you. Mr.
yeah.
Fred is on his way. I would tell him 2 days out, but I'll go do it the next day. He don't need, hey, it's on its way already because
Mhm.
that's how you got to be. And
Yeah,
I knew I did not want to squander that opportunity. Plus, I'm a real professional person when you deal with me. I
right,
really keep it like that.
right. And
Right.
he's spoken nothing but good things about
I
you.
appreciate it.
We've
Yes, sir.
had many, many conversations about certain things,
Mhm.
but with you, he has had nothing but good things to say about you, and
And I
I
appreciate
greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart as well. You know what I mean? Because you just didn't do something for him; you did it for us. You
Mhm.
know, for our listeners, for everyone.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate
we greatly appreciate all the things that you've done. You
And
know,
we're gonna get that website back up where people
yeah,
can
yeah.
start ordering all your different stuff online. You know,
Mhm.
because we want to push that and help promote you and promote your success, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Because yeah,
and
go ahead.
Ms. Fred, if I may just respond, just say this, please, just 1 second. And I think it's important concerning what you're saying.
Mhm.
I legitimately tried to go through a manufacturer. They didn't
Mhm.
even respond to me.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I realized at that time, until somebody told me, that's how they freeze black people out the game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I didn't understand that. So what you're saying right now, I appreciate that. And people
Mhm.
don't understand that. I done went to stores up here, and good brother Les, you know how it is. A lot
Oh
of the
yeah.
Middle East,
Oh
oh no, Habibi, I can't sell your stuff, or
yeah.
I'm not giving you half of my stuff, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I worked for this. You didn't give me a penny.
yeah. And
So
see, in
I
Detroit is such a different place because
Mhm.
in every place where we grew up, I'm gonna assume it, we're kind of from the same type of areas.
absolutely.
There's not us owning the
Yeah,
stores. We don't
absolutely.
own the grocery stores. We don't own the corner
Right.
stores. We don't own the gas stations. We don't own these things. We have to create them for ourselves. And then we
Absolutely.
struggle with getting our own people to come and patronize us.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's important that we bring these things to light and we share them because how else do we grow the economic value of our neighborhood and our culture if if
Absolutely.
if if we're not patronizing,
Mhm.
right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. But go ahead, Russ. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, no, no. So you moved into the world of vending machines. We were having a conversation. I just saw Tula last week while we were in Detroit. So, uh, and you mentioned the vending machine world. In my
Yeah.
mind, I went instantly to uh, one of my favorite shows, the Hughleys. Right?
Yeah.
You remember the Hughleys? That was his business.
Yep, that was his business. Yeah.
The vending
Oh, I didn't
machines,
know
right?
that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That's how he made his fortune off of vending
Oh, wow.
machines. So,
So,
how did you get into this? What was the drive behind it?
so I guess I was sitting here one day and I was on Facebook and I seen a vending machine. I'm like, man, for $500, I'm finna get that.
Mm,
Mhm.
And then I'm like, I went to talk to a brother who had a place up here by my house. I said, hey man, I want to get a vending machine. He owned a truck, like a delivery place. Can I put it
mm,
in here? He said, yeah, no problem. So I went and bought the vending machine out in the suburbs, metro part of Detroit.
Mhm.
So I paid him $500. They showed me it works. So I went back to the brother. I said, okay, hey, you know what? I'm having it delivered next week. He said, no, man, you can't do that. I'm moving. And so I'm like,
mm.
wow, I didn't pay for this
Wow.
thing. Well, I put it. So I went back to the guy who sold it to me, which happened to be in the suburbs, who happened to be a white guy. I said, man, I'm sorry, man. You're going to have to hold on for me till long so I can find somewhere. He said, well, no, I sell vending machines in location. So he screened me out before he told me this, meaning
Mm,
they do that up here. So I said,
Mhm.
okay, you got some locations for sale? He said, yeah, this is what it's going to cost you with the vending machine. I'm like,
mm,
man, this is a gold mine. So
mm,
I had extra money. I'm like, okay, let me try it. So I bought my first two. And
mm,
then I'm like, I had some more extra money. I said, let me try it again. So I got some more extra money and I bought four more. I bought four more. My little brother wanted investment. I had him give me some money. So we had six altogether. So I had eight vending machines. Two was my little brothers at the time. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. So I'm trying to figure it all out. But the six vending machine, I gotta tell y'all this. We went to 17 miles, 17 and a half in DeQuinder. Mr. Les,
Mhm.
that's way out.
I know. That's
So
way out there. Yeah.
man, that's truly raw area. So when I walked in there, I'm a black guy, and they looking at me like it's really a racist environment. They looking at me like this. So I never told them. I was advised by another brother not to tell them that I own the machine because how they was reacting. At first, it was almost like they was boycotting when I was
Mhm.
putting myself out there. So I talk to them and they get to know me, and eventually they begin to shop with the machines, buy stuff out of my vending machines out of six that's out there. So my girl works at a peer recovery place for people that's on drugs. They
Mhm.
need a vending machine. So I bought another vending machine, which is a hybrid, and I put that out there and they're doing good. So that's what led me to the vending machine business. And when
Mhm.
I tell people that it's a good business, but you have to be up on the prices and you have to know where to shop to get the stuff at. I get my stuff from Sam's Club up here, but
Yeah.
you have
right.
to know what to get. You have to know what the people gonna like. What you like, people may not like, and I learned that real quick. I
Mhm.
might like something, and everybody else might be like, "No, we don't like that." So if it sits in there for more than say a week, week and a half, I'll go get another product. I'll test
Mhm.
it out from Sam's Club. I got a place up here where I can get candy bars two for $1. right?
Mm.
I charge $1 for the candy bar, so I get 100% profit. I
Yeah.
buy pops and stuff there, and that's how you got to think, man. You always got to look for the deals. When I look at an average vending machine, again, I'm going back to my mom analogy. Whenever I got the vending machines, I looked at the price. I said, my mom got 5 children.
Hmm.
Could she took 5 children and spent $20 on a vending machine now in the product? No, she couldn't have.
Right.
So if a person that has 5 children shopped with my vending machine, all 5 of them can get pops. My bottle pops are more than $1.50. My can pops on $1.25. Everything in my machine is $1, no
Hmm.
more than $1.25. And that's how I keep what I'm doing. And I make a good profit on that. So
Hmm.
that's what pushed me to do it. And I would suggest brothers do it. But you want to find, if you buy a vending machine, try to buy one where the person is selling location. That's a rarity
Mm.
where they sell location with the vending machine, because most people just buy the vending machine. And you can't buy the vending machine without finding location. Please
Right.
don't do that. They go and get a vending machine and they ain't got nowhere to put it.
Right.
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 And they think
Right.
that's the slick thing. No, find somewhere to put it first. You say, well, hold on,
Mhm.
let me look for one. You ain't got to tell nobody, hey, can I put the vending machine? Because a lot of people that's in business areas like vending machines. But you
Yeah.
don't want to be, you ain't trying to be greedy, needy. Just
Mhm.
make it enough where you make 100% or 200% of your profit back. And that's
Right.
it. And the more you do that, the more people gonna buy. They're constantly gonna buy stuff from you.
Mhm.
Nutty bars. Then what I do, I'll ask people what do they like. Like when I go there, I say, well,
Mhm.
what do you like? Mountain Dew is a top seller. I can tell you that
Yeah.
up front.
Yeah.
Caffeine. They
Mhm.
love Mountain Dew, can or bottle.
Mhm.
Pepsi. Some people like energy drinks, but you want to get like if like I got like I do Monster energy drinks, right?
Yeah.
And I go get you one. I do buy them in a very reasonable price. Ain't gonna tell. I say that at a place to see. I'll say that. So I charge like 250, 275, but I get 100% of my profit back,
Right.
right? So that's what you want to do. But please, if anybody's thinking about investing in vending machine, think about where you want to put it first. I would suggest that if you don't know the people, kind of drop a contract before you purchase it.
Mhm.
Have everything hand in hand. Once they sign the contract, be ready to go get the vending machine right then. Because I made a mistake and just allowed the brother to tell me, yeah, no problem. And I purchased the vending machine and he didn't
And
do it.
he backed
But
out.
but God
Yeah.
still, but God still showed me favor. And I got a better deal out of the deal
Right.
anyway. Had I
Mhm.
just did it like that, then I would just have probably that one. But
That
Mhm.
yeah,
goes
that's
back
what
to
I think.
success right there.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Mhm.
it's a great business, and I'll be honest with you, it's not a lot of black people that own a lot of vending machines.
Yeah.
It's just not. When I tell people I got my own business shirt, that's another thing. I'm gonna say this as well. Whatever business you get, put it on a t-shirt. Like I
Brand.
got Success
Yeah.
Fragrance on the t-shirt. So whenever I say, hey, I got Success Fragrance, I got that. And get business cards made, that's professional. Don't get them with a right on, because they think we unprofessional. I got business card for Success Fragrance and I got business cards for Success Vending. So whenever I go into like that place where I go in for the to change the vending machines, where I told you 60 and half 7, I got my t-shirt on. So when they see me, I'm just not a random black guy walking around, because they don't have a lot of black people work there, right? Maybe
Mhm.
2 or 3 I may have seen out of a lot of people that work there. So I identify myself, by my
Mhm.
Right.
clothes, and that's another thing we have to do. You have to move uniformity. Don't go there smell like, man, I don't smoke or drink. Let me put that out there.
Mhm.
But if you do smoke, man, please don't go do that while you're doing your business, because
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
particularly
If
in an area where they stereotype us to be that way. Don't go in drinking, don't go in smoking,
Mhm.
don't go in talking on the phone loud. Just certain professional etiquettes you
Mhm.
have to do when you're saying you own your own business. You have to demonstrate those particular etiquettes for
Yeah.
sure.
Especially in the area that you said. They
Oh,
already, yeah, that area is not it's more acceptable now than it was 20 years ago.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. 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 So,
And sometimes I have to code switch. I mean that's
mhm.
and y'all know that's just part of the game. I
Yeah.
have to code switch. And they got Trump signs out there. So I
Oh,
don't care
yeah.
personally, but that tells me the mentality. So I one or two I connect with out there. They'll call me and say, "Hey, Tula, something wrong with your vending machine." But I intentionally did that. So when I go
Right.
out there, it's another thing. If you own a vending machine, try to connect with one or two people there. So somehow
Mhm.
they can call you, give them free pop. Like I might
Yeah.
say, "Hey man, you want a free pop? You want a free bag of chips? It ain't gonna cost you nothing. If
Right.
you got stuff there that's old, sit it on the table. Another thing, you got to check the date of the food.
Mhm.
Man, listen, one time I left some stuff in there for 6 months. It was outdated, and I said, "Why the stuff ain't selling?" Right, this is when
Because
I first
it's
started.
old.
I didn't get no roadmap. Man, it
Yeah.
was old. I said, "Oh, that's why."
Yeah.
So I had to constantly keep fresh stuff out there. And
Yeah.
one thing you have to see what keep a better shelf life, like part
Mhm.
tarts, cookies, certain chips. You have to know how to rotate that stuff out and get what's
Mhm.
in there. But yeah, it's a great experience, and I would suggest to my people to invest in vending machines. I
Mhm.
would love to put one in churches where they got churches, but again, just make it reasonable. Some
Mhm.
people go into business and they too greedy. Like
Yeah.
they'll tell me
Yeah.
your prices are too low. I say, be quiet.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to raise my price. My mama
Mhm.
Mhm.
had 5 chip cushy shop at that vending machine. And they'll
Mhm.
say,
Mhm.
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you got to stand on your all 10 when you standing on your business.
That's
Because
right.
you got those who greedy, who's in business, and those who doing it because they want to do it to help people and make
Mhm.
a reasonable living. And I'm the
Right.
second. That's what I
Right.
want to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the idea of putting them in churches, man, because I know our church service be a little lengthy sometimes. You know, I see people falling out thinking they getting the Holy Ghost, man. They thirsty.
Yeah, they thirsty. They need a Snickers bar. They need
That's right.
something.
Mr.
Listen,
Fred, when
yeah.
you ready, man, just I got a place, man. They I definitely turn you on to them. I
All
swear I
right.
will.
They ship
You know,
them.
and yeah, I will talk to the person I know tomorrow, but I'm confident the sister, her name is Keisha. They repair vending machines. They got brand new ones. There's a top of
Mhm.
the line. I bought mine used, but yeah, I'm sure that they will work out something with you to get it to you. Or even if you
Wow.
had to come up here, strap down the U-Haul and drive, it's worth it. It's
Yeah.
just it's residual income. It
Yeah.
you can't lose doing it.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
a sure bet. Long as
Right.
you keep everything rotated out, where I mean, like, how can you lose doing the vending machine?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Especially in
Absolutely.
the
Listen,
turf, you definitely ain't gonna
absolutely.
lose.
Hey, Tula, I mean, man, we are running out of time in this
No problem,
episode,
no
man.
problem.
Time just got away from us. Hey, how can people find out more information about you, follow you, and things like
Oh,
that?
so I'm a very simple person. I don't have Instagram yet, TikTok. I'm a paralegal too, so I get caught up in doing that as well. So only way you can really catch up with me is on my page, my Facebook page, Tula Kabone, TulaKabone, and I post all my radio shows on there. So chime in with me, get with me, and you want to contact me to order cologne or perfume. I prefer that you contact me. I like to have a personal relationship with people. So call me at 586-563-5830. And that's 586-563-5830. By the end of the middle of November, I have a web page up. And Mr. Russell, what I'll do is send you the web page, if not sooner. I have a
Yes,
web page up where people can go in the shop and get their stuff from there. But contact
absolutely.
me anytime, and I definitely will be. I'm a very, very nice person, very affordable. Let me say it that way.
Absolutely. Guys, we got to run the break. We'll be back with more of the Man Space podcast. Tula, thank you once again for being part of
Thank
the show, man. Love you, brother.
you. Love you too, and roll tide.
That's hey, my man. My man.
Hey, man, I knew he was gonna smile on that one. He got
Yes.
man.
Hey,
Yes.
hey,
I'm
you
with it.
just put chill bumps up his
Yes.
back. You
Oh,
just
Listen,
put,
yes.
oh
roll tide.
man.
Hey, I
Roll
always hit you with
Tide.
that too. Roll tide. All right, hey man, you brothers been amazing. And anytime you want me to come on, anything new come about, I'll let y'all know. But thank you, brothers. I appreciate what y'all doing. It's good to see black men out here doing something productive. This is the image that we need. And Mr. Fred, you and Mr. Les are extremely good role models for brothers like myself and other brothers. And your son is just absolutely amazing. And I will
Thank
make
you.
sure he can see in this endeavor. But you brothers continue to do what you do. And anytime you want to appear on my show, if there's any issue that y'all know that needs to be talked about, send it to me on the radio. I definitely light it up. No problem whatsoever.
Sounds
No doubt. We appreciate you.
Wonderful, man.
All right. Have a great day. All right.
All right. Take care, man.
Yeah.
We like to close the show with just a little bit of inspiration. The word of the week is sacrifice. Sacrifice is defined as giving up something valuable to achieve something that is more meaningful or worthwhile. It's a trade-off that often requires resilience, patience, and a clear vision of one's goal. Let's remember that every meaningful achievement comes with a choice to let go of something else, whether that is time, comfort, or even certain dreams. The sacrifices that we make today bring us closer to our purpose. By recognizing that we're giving up something, we deepen our commitment to the journey and to the things that matter the most. Sacrifice is rarely easy, but it shows a powerful devotion to what we're willing to do to build a better life and a better self. So ManSpace Nation, stay focused, keep moving, and trust that every sacrifice today strengthens the foundation for a brighter tomorrow. Until next time.
Yo,
man, everything that you do to be successful, whether it's working your 9 to 5, whether it's like Tula was on and doing the fragrances, doing the vending machines, the paralegal work, man, all of that is a sacrifice, man. Yeah, all of that is a sacrifice because everything that you do, everything that you give up, I mean, you got to give up to get something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think about, just with me and my wife, man, I drove from here to Michigan, was in the car for 13 hours going up, 12 hours on the way back. But the connections that I made during that. The connection to Tula, the connection that we had with Marcus. Dave was up there as well, man. Dave, who from the Dave Cave, man, he was a part of the show. He was part of our 200th episode with Marcus. And I got a chance to see both of them while I was up there, man. And some just a plethora, use your word, a plethora of
see, I can't even say it when I'm trying to say it.
Of amazing people that I got a chance to meet. But it's all about making a sacrifice, man.
Absolutely. And sometimes a sacrifice is just what's needed.
Yeah.
You got to show your commitment. Give it to the universe. Show it.
Sacrifice. It's not always instant gain. And
that's
what people gotta realize. It's like people want to invest in something and they're like, well, when am I going to get my money out of it?
Yeah. But you got to look at yourself as a stock option, right? I'm going to invest while it's cheap, right? But I want this thing to grow astronomically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can cash out at the top.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a stock option.
Yeah.
Right now I'm a penny stock, but I'm gonna get there one day.
Eventually, one day.
That's it.
One day. You're kind of like Dogecoin. You shot up one day, then you went right back down.
I was just getting ready to say I don't want to be a Bitcoin unless I was
in the negative. One day you're gonna be back above a penny. So listen, Hey, we want to thank Tula Kabone for being part of the show once again.
Yeah.
End of the year, Man Space, best of 2004, Christmas week, New Year's week, volumes 1 and 2, the best of, I said 2004, 2024. I did catch myself. Thank you very much. We will have the best of the last 2 weeks of the year. And what can you ask for?
Yeah.
But the best of us.
That's it. Start your holiday season off with a blast.
That's
with
it.
the Man Space Podcast.
And that's all I got. So on that note,
we out of here.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Man Space.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Man Space updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at manspacenat1.
Until next time, Man Space Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out of here.
If you can hum, you can hear, and I'll be like,